Welcome out to a beautiful Evergreen Speedway just outside of Seattle. It's in Monroe, Washington. Love this place. And happy anniversary to the Formula Drift fans of the PNW. All right, here we go. Austin Mata, Jonathan Hurst, Ricky Lee Gasser. We are looking for you, so head on up to the announcer's booth. Here we go, Austin Mata. He is going to lead, initiate into that first bank. There's Jonathan Hurst. Austin initiates. You can see some wavering there, but does find that sweet spot eventually. Hurst, you can see just how fast this bank is. Now going into what was previously called the Power Alley, we're calling it the Power Boulevard because that thing has been wider, thicker than a Snicker going into that inside clip. Now into that last outside zone goes Austin Mata. Jonathan Hurst digs on deep, and there we go. Austin Mata brings it on home. So again, this is a sparring match here today, and this is really good live competition because you can get 3 points richer, 6, 9, 12, do the math. Here we go. Keeping it cool, Mr. Cool, 79 degrees on that temperature dial, Fahrenheit we're talking about here. And look how settled Jonathan Hurst is. The car way more settled than Austin was in the lead position. Getting to that outside zone, now transitioning through that power alley. Good adaptation there, coming now into that inside clip, and now going to transition into that last outside zone. I mean, Jonathan Hurst, you can just see that execution there. And there it is. So Jonathan Hurst, happy birthday. All right, well, we are hearing that unfortunately Ken Shiraguchi is out. So Simon Olsson will get a bye run. So we'll lay out and listen to this Mark V Toyota Supra. Congratulations, Simon Olsson. And hopefully Ken Shiraguchi can get his car back together, and we'll see him back out there getting dialed in as he talked to Cerise earlier today. Good execution there by Simon Olsson. You know, Novak definitely a fierce competitor. Here he is. He's going to be leading that Field Suspension S vehicle. All right, here we go. Nick Novak initiating. Strong out front is Nick Novak. Baby, don't look back, Nick Novak. Look at that. Again, look at that. The white wheels just standing out. The black wheels. Oh, he does exceed. He goes off course. The power out. Ooh, he was going right for it. So, truth be told, Ody does not need to complete the entirety of this run. This is what I was talking about. Don't know exactly what's going on with Novak and shooting off. Definitely an incomplete. Now Ody Bosi, he just needs to keep the rubber against the road. Novak's going to try to force an error, but I think this is just where, again, treating it like a sparring match. Ody Bosi doesn't exactly push exhaustively hard up to that outside zone. Now into that third outside zone. See, he even escapes it a little bit. Doesn't get all the way out there. That would kind of hurt him if this was, you know, if he didn't have that massive advantage. So Ody Bosi finishes out the run. See that, but let's make it official. Ody Bosi advances on. Couldn't make St. Louis. The car sat. Manoa's dad, Hiroyo's dad, actually got to drive. He was an absolute drifting legend. But right now, talking a little bit about legend. Dan Bquette initiating. Masyama, the junior race, that Babe livery, has to fall back a little bit. Dan keeps on keeping on in that first outside zone. We're going to have to run that back and take a look at the replay. But Dan fills all that third outside zone, dialing in on the front. Boom, right there. You can see that yellow box. So don't look at the clip. Don't look at the cone. Look at the box on the ground. That cone is for reference. You know, jumping across the pond, coming from Japan. You know, we have seen him compete in FD before. He had an S15 previous years, and now it comes back behind the wheel. But very capable Jerry Yang Racing prepared vehicle. Now this first outside zone, Masyama sticks it to the wall. What's blue and white all over this battle and the wall? Points right in. Masyama massive win on the first outside zone. Great composure. Now the second outside zone, Dan Bquette bathing in that smoke. Into that third outside zone goes Masyama. Man, looks like he's been driving this vehicle all season. Now transitioning in that last outside zone, up tight, close in front of the fans. Masyama delivers. Yeah. All right, here we go. Slide him left for Dan Bquette or right for Masyama. And it looks like Masyama will get the victory. Presented by obviously Type S and Toyota Gazoo Racing. Speaking of Gazoo Racing, Jonathan Castro in the chase position. Derek Madison leading in that S chassis. High on the bank, Castro very low. He needs to work his way up. Madison a little squirrely Dan there. Squirrely Mads in that chase position. Now second and the third outside zone. Madison putting the car in the right place. Castro just a little buffering there in that chase. Just failure to launch to get into those outside zones. Now finds that spot. But again, just a little bit short. Air tricks, right? They drop it immediately because they know they're going to drop it eventually. Drop it. Yeah. All right, speaking of drop, let's drop the hammer. Jonathan Castro, the Toyota GR86. Metal Dom vehicle. Again, getting his first ever podium earlier in Orlando. And here we go. So Castro already completing that first outside zone into the power alley. Both of them exceeding a little bit in that second outside zone. Castro now, look, you can see him pushing and extending a little bit further, but you can see him, no pun intended, drifting his way back there. That allows Madison to get up close and personal. All right, look at this. Derek Madison does get the victory, advances on, so here we go. Enrico Sharifo, the Italian lover. There was a fan earlier signed his shirt, old school Triple Crown shirt. He had some Ferrari C-Cat Puma and Betty signed it, so pretty sick. So, a very iconic vehicle, the Pennzoil Fiorella. It's got a nickname like Madonna, a Prince. So Fiorella, the vehicle, and the building.
Prince. All the different iterations of it.
Again, this is seeded brackets. Who's advancing on, but we know both of them are in the show tomorrow. Rudy Hansen initiates across the nose of that Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD. Rudy Hansen, good angle from him. Ben Hopson settled. You can see them coming on in, the flapping of the carbon, the fiberglass, and the urethane. Now into that power alley. Here goes Hansen. Ben Hopson dives in on the inside, way shallow. The car grips up, shoots on into that inside clip. Now into this last outside zone. Rudy puts it right there. Ben Hopson does find the sweet spot eventually. What I like about this is something that's a topic of conversation. We'll get to that in a moment. All right, here we go. All right, here goes Ben Hopson out front. Whoa, Rudy Hansen needs to join, slide to those DMs, or slide to the side of the Mustang. And the side of the Spec 5 FD is what it needs to do. Ben Hopson, look at that, with the clean air. The turbo fans go around into this third outside zone. There he is. Oh, and even then, like I said, that is big, man. It's you know, you're burning a lot of tire there. That wheel speed, the car grips up. So this is what they wanted. One more time. They are going at it again. Here we go. Rudy Hansen out front. Hopson in the chase position. Those hot pockets are just getting Hopson, major mistake there. Falls out of drift. Hansen continues on. That's not what you want to see from Hopson. He continues on, but that's going to... Oh, and Hansen maxes out the angle going into that third outside zone. If Hopson was there, that would have definitely gotten his way, but not part of the equation, finishing out the run. So mistakes on either side. Just being Midwest guy. Whittling away. Speaking of whittling away, let's see Ben Hopson whittle on his wall. Gonna go down to the whittle wall. Here we go, Hopson. Now he throws down for his town. That left foot brake. Look at that front right. Looks like he's chalking that thing up, ready to hard park that thing. Into the second outside zone, into the power alley, into the third outside zone goes Hopson. Is this too little too late? Because Hansen is definitely involved, could be closer, but both these guys leaving some, I wouldn't say a window of opportunity, more like a garage door of opportunity. Rudy Hansen gets the win. I know you're always a fan of Stuckey's vehicle, keeping it lightweight. And here we go, Sorenson out front, that United States Air Force BMW. We know how talented this driver is, and he's going to try to throw a dominant run down out here with that clean air. Stuckey not a factor at all. It's just an all-Brandon Sorenson show out front. Fills that second outside zone. Good transition from him, probably one of the smoothest and cleanest going to that third outside zone. Past that inside clip, dials in on the last one. That allows Stuckey to get to the side of him, and Brandon full pull across the finish line.
You know, they are definitely taking notice.
Competition as well as car setup. Daniel Stuckey out front, Brandon Sorenson tip to tail, dropping in the Justice Smash on the drone, and there it goes. Brandon Sorenson not even giving him an inch, and Stuckey, you can see right there, some wavering from him, but Brandon Sorenson keeping it pinned on the door of Stuckey. Where's Sorenson? Boom, jumps out of the closet like a magic show. Catches an early flight home from Seattle into that inside clip. Now transitioning into that last outside zone. So Stuckey places it. Brandon not as deep, but Stuckey flirting with that wall. And let's see, Sorenson or Stuckey. And Brandon Sorenson gets the victory. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Simon Olsson, Jonathan Hurst, the battle, two friends, no way. Gloves are off, bare knuckle fight. Going that first outside zone. Look at Simon Olsson, brother. Slingshotting, that car is on rails. Holy cow. Oh, he overcooked, burnt the meatloaf. Meatloaf, what is Norwegian Meatloaf doing out here? Wow, into that inside clip. Simon was dialed though. From a distance, that looks really good. And Jonathan Hurst out front, Mr. Cool, keeping it cool. Simon Olsson had those mistakes, so all right, let's get it tight and right, fellas. Come on, who's moving on to the final four here in our seating brackets? There goes the Cadillac out front, XLR, and Simon, look at just chomping at the bit, ready to get after it. There goes the Mr. Cool Cadillac, second outside zone. I feel like maybe Simon didn't have a reference to look in the rearview mirror earlier, but now, yeah, Hurst grinding. Woo! Simon, it is loud right now, dude. Here we go, Simon Olsson, slide him left, Hurst slide him right, and there goes Simon Olsson. He's definitely got a lot to lose. He wants to get back in the conversation for championship and finish up out on top. There you go, Masyama, good initiation, locked and loaded. That car, look at how settled that is, pulling away from Ody. That is very uncharacteristic. Ody, one of the best chasers in the business. And that second outside zone transition cuts through that smoke. Now into that inside clip, both of them running over the box. Perfect. Oh, we got a little tire fire right back, right. That thing will usually extinguish, and yes, it does. So, well, he is no holds barred right now. Ody Boksi's out front. He's got the clean air. But this is where the winners truly shine in the chase position. Masyama, like I said, nothing to lose here. This is absolutely everything to gain and prove he deserves to be here. They gave him the keys, so why not just show up and show out? Ody Boksi's now transitioning that inside clip. Masyama threatening right there on the heels of Ody Bosi. And fans, again, 60+% saying that he's going to win this seeding bracket. Here we go, slide him left, slide him right. Ody Boksi's. D-Mads will lead. We talked about his car floating, a little looser setup. We'll see if that favors him here out front. Fiorella, the Ferrari, at S chassis, pulling away from Fetty, taking him to Gapplebee's for dinner right now. It's TGI Fridays. Man, all of a sudden, again, Hot Pockets, we're talking about food here. Obviously hungry. Madison, where are you going? Got the wrong directions. Goes two tires off. That will be a deficit, but not an incomplete. Out front now, navigating that last outside zone. Real on-off switch with the throttle. You can hear just the echoing of the motor. Take the look in and keep on ticking. Federico Sharifo out front. Derek Madison chasing him down through the start chicane. Let's see Fetty's approach here. Transitions in, a slow roll into it. That allows Derek Madison good proximity. He is lower. We need him to massage and get a little higher, but Fetty, you can see kind of just coming out of it. Just a little touch here and there. And there, yeah, Fetty shuts it down. So,
yeah. Not able to get through that run.
Are we singing Blink songs, all the small things? Brandon Sorenson, Rudy Hansen, having fun here on a Friday. Thanks for tuning in. We are live around the world here in our round of 8. Brandon, high-flying Brandon Sorenson coming in that United States Air Force. Yo, Zero Chill Sorenson. He says, shut up, Jared. I'm going to stick this bumper to the wall. Keep my bumper and shut up. Here we go. Oh, buddy, Hansen makes an attack. Almost getting inside that BMW. Talk about sparring. Rudy Hansen now comes back into that last outside zone. What a lead run from Brandon Sorenson. Hansen out front. He's been looking good out front with that clean air. Let's see if he can show up. Brandon, just blood is in the water, dude. The piranha is out right now. Look at this. Oh, he backs down a little bit. It's like got a little side eye there from Rudy Hansen. A side smirk with that front bumper in the second outside zone. Brandon was so dominant up front, and he goes in hard. That was a hard hit.
Second outside zone. Rudy looks really good, and then through this transition, Rudy touches the wall.
Rudy touches, but Brandon went in. I think it was a perfect storm. And
that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, two independent incidents that kind of happen in the same spot. So Rudy goes in, Brandon goes in, and then comes back around. Now, was Rudy would he have been able to finish that run if he wouldn't be hit? I'm not sure.
Is Rudy impeding on Brandon, first of all?
So you're allowed to decel there. Should be back on throttle. And it doesn't look like he is, but Brandon also, regardless of Rudy being on throttle or not, Brandon's going into that wall. So I think Brandon just really wanted to gain that proximity. So there's Rudy. See some throttle pickup. I think in 2 independents, you nailed that one.
All right, here we go. Brandon Sorenson, Rudy Hansen. So Sorenson gets the victory. Good trial run for them to see like if something happens tomorrow on game day, if he doesn't advance on. You're 3 points lesser, but you still want to move on. Speaking of moving on, Simon Olsson, Ody Bosi, former members, or team members, excuse me, from last year, but now Simon Olsson out front. Look at this, pulling away. And this is what I'm talking, dude. Simon's car is just so different from when he drove it previously from joining Ody Bosi. And now look at, I mean, boom, puts it right in there. Second and third outside zone into that front clip. Now navigating in that final clip, Ody Bosi knows what's expected, has to back up. So look at this there. Right. So it's going to come down to this run, and I'm feeling Ody's going to let it all hang out. I expect a big, nasty lead run. He has something to prove here to himself, to the fans. Again, a lot of people look at it, and there, cars settled. It looks like a photo. I mean, that was just a still photo. You can take an old-timey photo with the big powder right there. And that third outside zone, Simon Olsson doesn't get to that outside zone. Now, on the inside clip, let's see outside zone 4. Simon does a better job executing that zone in the chase than Ody did, but Ody allowed him to do that.
Just decisions in.
Yeah, and this is where I was leaning. A good effort by Simon, but Ody just a lot cleaner. Unfortunately, Derek Madison is out, but we will see him tomorrow. So for all the St. Lunatics out there cheering him on, D-Mads will be in the show. So Brandon Sorenson against Ody Bosi. So bye run. Young man from Lost Wages. Sorenson.
Text in, broken axle for D-Mads.
F-Win footage.
Brandon taking that extra practice run. See how aggressive he gets just in a bye run. Him against Ody it's going to be wild. I mean, very, very technical Ody Bosi versus an incredibly wild Brandon Sorenson. So, yeah, that's going to be quite the battle.
Brandon Sorenson will lead. Ody Bosi's giving chase. That's an SNL reference, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Okay. All right. You're looking at me like, here we go. Brandon Sorenson unites it there for his BMW. Sticks it to the wall. Ody Bosi's down a little bit, but you can see now he works his way up. Compromises as far as proximity, but gets high on the bank into that second outside zone. Looks like Ody might have exceeded just a little bit, but he has great proximity there. Brandon really hanging out on the wall for quite a bit extraneously, and now dialing it in, coming on back. Yo, Bosi's Brandon Sorenson. Let's see what we got. Who's going to get the win? And like you said, some claims being made. He can be tied with field if he gets this overall victory. Sliding to that first outside zone. There goes Ody Bosi's Brandon. Look at the cars, just absolutely rock solid. Well done. Little left foot break there for Ody Bosi, but look at the attitude of the cars. Just flat. No attitude, no disruption in this third outside zone. That's where Brandon got in trouble with Hansen earlier. That's how he got the advancement. Passing inside clip into this last outside zone. Ody and Sorenson. Do we have a winner? Finishing third place, Mr. Simon Olsson. Simon Olsson getting third place. And now jumping outside of their vehicles, congratulations. Again, our seeding bracket finishers, Ody Bosi and Brandon Sorenson. And the winner, round 6 seeding brackets overall here as they congratulate each other, high fives and handshakes. Winner of seeding brackets unanimously is Brandon Sorenson gets the win. Brandon Sorenson gets the victory after a wall tap earlier with Hansen, and now he fights on to see another day and 3 points richer over Ody Bosi. Congratulations, Brandon Sorenson, Ody Bosi in second, and Simon Olsson in third. Turk Olsson, a good battle. James Dean Kengushi, if he get his car together. Adam LZ, Austin Mata. Austin could really disrupt. Where's Freddie at? Freddie going against Stookie.
Yeah, there's some really good battles.
And Hurst.
Shanahan and Madison is going to be interesting.
Shanahan and Madison. All right, some amazing battles. It goes down tomorrow. Round 6 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Again, on behalf of joining us tomorrow, Cerise Taylor, Lorette Nichols, not with us this weekend, so we brought in Cerise. Thank you, Jacob. See you tomorrow. Thank you to our judges, Robin Ishida. Thank you to Brian Eggerts. Thank you to Chris Yule. Thank you to Ryan Sage. No thank you to Pat Gentili, as he's in the building because he's not doing anything, just hanging out. But thank you to all of our staff. And thank you for the fans. Formula Drift, the throwdown, the battle in Seattle continues tomorrow. Game day, round 6. We'll see you at high noon. But the stakes are high here in Seattle.